Generative AI is the talk of the town, reshaping industries, captivating minds, and driving innovations like nothing we've seen before. But while everyone's enamored with what Gen AI can do today, there's a looming question that no one seems to be asking. Are we actually ready for what comes next? The answer might surprise you. We're currently living in what experts are calling Act 1 of generative AI. This is the experimental phase, where breathtaking demonstrations and proof-of-concept models steal the spotlight. AI is creating art, writing code, diagnosing diseases, each breakthrough more astonishing than the last. But behind the glitz and glamour lies a harsh reality. These early-stage successes are just that early. Many revolutionary technologies have followed a similar path. The internet, smartphones, robotics, they all had their shiny, eye-catching moments too. But their real value only became clear when they evolved beyond novelty. Gen AI is no different. We're automating not just tasks, but human insights and analysis at a pace that's unprecedented. And that brings its own set of challenges: accuracy, bias, ethics, scalability, and cost. Let's start with accuracy. Despite the impressive demonstrations, the reality is that generative AI still struggles with inaccuracies, what some experts call hallucination. These errors, sometimes subtle, sometimes glaring, can be the difference between a useful tool and a disastrous one. To truly understand this challenge, let's dig deeper into what's happening under the hood. Generative AI models, like GPT-4 or DALL-E, are trained on vast datasets, terabytes of text, images, and other forms of data. These datasets are so large and complex that it's virtually impossible to manually verify every piece of information the model learns. This pattern recognition is powerful, but it's also prone to errors, especially when the model encounters ambiguous or misleading information. For instance, if an AI model is trained on medical texts, it might learn to recognize patterns in symptoms and diagnoses. However, if the data it's trained on includes outdated or incorrect medical advice, the AI might confidently suggest treatments that are not only wrong but potentially harmful. This is why the issue of accuracy in generative AI isn't just a technical problem, it's a matter of trust. As AI becomes more integrated into critical fields like healthcare, finance, and law, the margin for error shrinks dramatically. To advance to Act 2, we need to prioritize improving the quality and reliability of these models. We can't afford to have AI that occasionally gets things wrong. We need AI that's reliably right. And then there's bias. This isn't just a bug in the system, the fundamental flaw, and undermine the entire premise of AI. Generative AI models are only as good as the data they're trained on. If that data is biased, the results will be too. Bias in AI isn't always overt or malicious. Often it's the result of subtle, unconscious biases that are present in the data. For instance, if an AI model is trained on job applications from the tech industry where there is historically less diversity, it might learn to associate certain gendered language or educational backgrounds with success. This means the AI could inadvertently favor candidates who fit a narrow profile, perpetuating the lack of diversity in the industry. Addressing bias requires a multifaceted approach. It's not enough to just tweak the algorithms. We need to fundamentally rethink how we collect, curate, and use data. As we move forward, it's crucial that we develop and enforce ethical guidelines for the use of AI. This includes transparency, making sure that AI systems are explainable and that their decision-making processes can be understood by humans. It also means holding developers and companies accountable for the outcomes of their AI system, whether those outcomes are positive or negative. One of the most pressing ethical concerns with generative AI is the creation of deepfakes, realistic but fake images, videos, or audio recordings. Deepfakes have the potential to spread disinformation, damage reputations, and undermine trust in media. Another ethical concern is the use of generative AI in automated decision-making processes. For example, AI systems are increasingly being used in hiring, lending, and law enforcement. These systems can process information more quickly than humans, but they also carry the risk of perpetuating existing biases and making decisions that are difficult to challenge. Now, let's consider scalability. The sheer computational power required to build and operate generative AI models at scale is staggering. Since 2010, the amount of training compute has increased by a factor of 10 billion. Yes, billion. We're talking about an exponential leap that far outpaces even Moore's law. Training state-of-the-art AI models requires massive amounts of computing power. often involving thousands of high-performance GPUs running in parallel. This kind of infrastructure is expensive and energy-intensive, raising concerns about both cost and environmental impact. As we move into Act 2, we need to develop more efficient hardware and explore alternative approaches such as quantum computing that could provide the computational power needed without breaking the bank or the planet. But the scalability challenge isn't just about hardware. As AI models become more complex, so do the tools and frameworks needed to develop, deploy, and maintain them. This includes everything from the algorithms used to train the models to the systems used to monitor their performance in real time. In Act 2, we need to build robust, scalable software ecosystems that can support the next generation of AI applications. This will likely involve a shift toward more modular, flexible architectures that can be easily adapted to different use cases. Which brings us to the issue of cost. The AI models we marvel at today come with a hefty price tag. They're expensive to build, expensive to run, and expensive to scale. Training and fine-tuning a state-of-the-art AI model requires a team of highly skilled data scientists, machine learning engineers, and domain experts. These professionals are in high demand, and their salaries reflect that. In addition, the cost of data acquisition and pre-processing, cleaning, labeling, and organizing data so that it can be used to train AI models can be substantial. If generative AI is going to move from impressive demonstrations to real-world applications, we need to find ways to make it economically feasible. This could involve developing more efficient training algorithms that require less data and computing power, as well as creating more user-friendly tools that allow non-experts to build and deploy AI models. We also need to consider new business models that can make AI more affordable. For example, cloud-based AI platforms that offer AI as a service could lower the barrier to entry for small and medium-sized enterprises. Otherwise, we risk leaving this technology in the hands of only the few who can afford it, rather than democratizing it for all. Think about the jet engine, a technological marvel that revolutionized travel. But the engine alone wasn't enough. We needed better airplanes, new airport designs, advanced air traffic control systems. We had to rethink the entire infrastructure around air travel to fully realize the benefits of the jet engine. Generative AI is our jet engine, but we're still building the infrastructure around it. Act 1 has shown us what's possible, but Act 2 will determine whether we can turn those possibilities into realities that improve lives on a global scale. The leap from Act 1 to Act 2 in generative AI isn't going to be easy, and it certainly won't happen overnight. But if we get it right, the impact could be profound, changing not just industries, but the way we live, work, and understand the world. So, are we prepared for Act 2 of generative AI? The truth is, we're just getting started. But with the right focus, the right investments, and a commitment to responsible development, we can take this technology to heights that we can only begin to imagine. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button if you found this video informative. Stay tuned for more exciting updates on cutting-edge technology and innovations shaping our future.